Hello, you're welcome to LCG Academic Graphics Tutorial, and we'll be taking you through this particular class, which is Introduction to Graphics Design. You get to learn the basic elements of a design and how important they are in your design. Now let's go on. Now, graphic design is about representing your ideas and concepts for communication. You require a visual medium to represent those ideas. You can do this through dots, lines, shapes, colors, and other elements in your design. Now, when it comes to the elements of design, you have the basic element and you have the relational element. For basic element, you have dots, you have colors, lines, shapes, forms, space, and texture, which you can include in your design. Now, these are examples of these basic elements. This point, this is a line, whether you have a horizontal or vertical line. This is a shape. This is a form, this is three-dimensional. We have texture, colors, value. We have space. So all of these are elements of a design. We have shapes, which could be geometric shapes like rectangles, triangles. We have the regular ones. We have the irregular polygons. We have lines. We have different types of line, like the straight, diagonal, curved, dashed line, dotted line, thin line, wavy line, zigzag lines. All of these lines, there are elements. They are basic elements in your design. Now we have what we call relational elements, and these are elements that deals with the interrelationship between the basic element in your design composition. So relational element is about that interrelationship between the basic elements. For relational element, we have what we call alignment, and that is about how the elements in your design are arranged, whether it is horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, in respect or with respect to each other. Now look at this particular slide. You have um, element that can be left aligned, like this one can be center aligned, it can be right aligned. This is top aligned, this is center aligned too, and this is like bottom aligned. You can see that um, the different points are starting from the same place. Look at this particular design, compare this to this. This is shows more alignment than this. All the elements seem to start at similar points. You can draw straight lines that link up this point together, as opposed to this where the elements are disarranged, that they're in disarray, they're not particularly orderly. You can't draw a line that meets up all the points. So this is not well aligned, but this is well aligned. Look at this. You can see that the elements, they are well aligned in this particular design. You can basically draw lines that link up the point in this element. So this is a well aligned design. Compare these two images. The one on the right is well aligned. You can see that the different points seem to be starting from the right. So this is a well right aligned design. But this one has lost that balance. The points, you cannot draw straight lines to mark up all the points. So this is not well aligned. The elements are not well aligned. Now, apart from alignment, we have what we call visual weight, and that's the measure of the first that an element exact to the eye is how attractive that element is to the eye. And the more attractive, the more it attracts the eye, the more the visual weight is. So elements that are larger tend to attract the viewer's eye more than elements that are smaller. Then brighter colors are more attractive. Colors that are at the top are more attractive. They tend to attract people first compared to the ones on the bottom. So these are some things that determines the visual weight of different elements. Visual weight is about how attractive, the force of attraction or different element in the design. Look at this element. This is a very big element with a sense of depth. It's rounded, and this actually has a bigger visual weight. You're likely to see this first before you think about the element. So this element has a bigger visual weight compared to this, with size, with volume, and value. This has been able to create a stronger visual weight compared to the other elements. Look at these two elements. This bright color for the red has a stronger visual appeal, has a stronger force of attraction. So the viewer's eyes are more likely to be drawn to this first before this. So that is visual weight. And we also have what we call visual direction. And visual weight, when it comes to visual weight, you're talking about attracting eye to a particular location. But with visual direction, you are basically leading the eye to where it goes from one point to the other. So with visual direction, you have a perceived direction of the visual force. It's about you determining the direction of motion through your design. Now, for example, the eye can travel along a path, which could be a dotted line, It could be a solid line from one element to the other, from a dark element to a light element, from a bigger one to the smaller one, from a colorful or bright element to a pale element. So you can use this. You can use different things to control people's visual direction. You can use images like arrows. You can use the direction of the eyes or the faces. You can use objects like pointer fingers to direct the eyes of the viewers. For example, in this image, you're likely to follow this direction because this image has, in a way, pointed your direction in this composition. You're likely to go from top down to bottom, and that is what this particular image has done by giving you a visual direction. This place you're likely to follow the dotted lines to from one part to the other on this design composition. So these lines have been able to give you a sense of visual direction, and the sizes to also contribute to that direction. Now, thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial where you get to learn more about the principles of graphic design. Thank you. You can subscribe to this channel once you find the opportunity to. If you enjoy it, subscribe. Thank you.